Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Network Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.
Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks That We're Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.
Recording in progress.
Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome to Stocks That We're Trading. My name is Ron. My partner is Dave. Thanks guys for joining. It is 7 a.m. Eastern. As we start this call, a new hourly candle is opening up right now. So if you're in any trades right now, just be prepared for a little bit of momentum and volume coming right now in the markets. Today's date is Wednesday, May 28th, so we're almost at the end of the month, guys. This week is gonna end the month of May, so just remember, whether you're trading options or not, that there's the monthly expiration dates on options. So there could be a little end of the month added volume into the markets. So just be prepared for that as we get into Thursday, Friday this week. And then next week when we start, it's a brand new month of June. New beginnings for everybody. Again, go back this month and reflect on this month. How has your trading been going? Has it been going okay? Has it been going great? Has it been not so great? Has it been okay? And make the necessary adjustments. I'm just making some adjustments from yesterday's call. I got into a couple trades while they were in profit, 30 plus pips. I never brought my stop loss to break even. I never scaled out any percentage. So I made a few critical mistakes yesterday and I got to clean that up. So just as fast as you make mistakes, you got to learn how to adapt, change, and move on with the markets, okay? Don't get stuck. Don't be hard on yourselves. If you're in a little bit of a slump, if you're struggling as of late, the markets have been pretty choppy last few days, then just scale back until you get your rhythm back, until you find your trades. You can decrease your lot sizing substantially. You can even go back to paper trading if you like, but just don't compound the problem by getting upset, by revenge trading, because then that leads to a disaster. Okay, so with that being said, hopefully we get some better volume today. Yesterday was a little choppy. It started to open up later in the afternoon after Wall Street, after we ended our call, but we'll see what happens here, okay? So let's get ready first by going over the news. And again, if you guys are in any trades right now, gold, this is gold over here. It is starting to push down just a little bit, making lower lows, lower highs. This is on the 5 minutes. You've got Nasdaq that made a really nice move, very bullish move right now. And also US 30 made a nice bullish move. So just monitor your trades accordingly if you're in them. If not, let's get into the news and then we'll get our charts done with top-down analysis, okay? So starting with Forex Factory today, make sure we're on the right date, Wednesday, May 28. We've had some European news coming out. We had some German import prices. This was all prior to London market opening up, pre-London. French consumer spending, French final private payrolls, preliminary French GDP. We had German unemployment change coming out. So lots going on in Europe. As we're moving now into our North American session, I like to consider this the North American session from like 8 a.m., 8:30, 9. So I always look here at 8:30. Typically there's always some red folders or orange folders regarding the US. So we don't have anything today. 10 a.m. we do have our first orange folder from the US. It is medium impact. It's Richmond Manufacturing Index. So that's right when we end the call, like right around here, around 10 a.m. So again, if you're taking any trades on Wall Street and you're leading into 10 a.m., just expect some momentum here, expect some volatility here. And then we have this folder. This is a folder that a lot of traders this FOMC meeting minutes. It's when we see this FOMC, we always assume it's the meeting with Powell and the federal funds rate. This is just the minutes. Another word for minutes is a summary. So this is just the summary from the previous FOMC where Powell paused the interest rates and actually answered questions. So if you missed that, this is like a summary of all of that, okay? And it is released at 2 p.m. The currency it does impact is the US dollar, and it does show its high impact red folder here. Just again, if you're going to trade in the afternoon around this time, just be cautious when they release this. But it's not the big one. It's not the big FOMC where Powell is there, where you'll see actually here, like let's say it's 4.5%, and maybe the forecast is they're decreasing it 4.25%, for example. That's the one that is the big one. Those are the ones we stream live. This one is just the summary, okay? And then market close, and then if you do trade in the Sydney, the Australia session, New Zealand session over here, and you start getting a few folders. Okay, so that's for today. But the big thing today is the earnings. Not so much in the pre-market right now. You got Dick's Sporting Good releasing right now. You've got Abercrombie and Fitch over here, Macy's, Bank of Montreal over here in Canada. That's right now going on in the pre-market. But the big one is in the afternoon. Okay, so when we move into after hours, the big name is right there. So this afternoon at 4:20 p.m. Eastern, we have Nvidia reporting. Nvidia is one of the largest corporations in the entire world. I believe its market cap is over 3 trillion. So it is trading right now. So it doesn't affect Nasdaq. It does affect the S&P a little bit of the Dow Jones, but more so Nasdaq. So all of the NQ traders, NAS100 traders, this one you have to pay particular attention to this afternoon. So already the estimates are out, 85 cents per share. Their revenue, 42.71 billion quarter after quarter. One thing about Nvidia, just to mention, they beat revenue and earnings every single earnings call for the past, I think it's like 8 earnings in a row. It's unbelievable, like for a corporation to do this, because the estimates and the analysts keep raising the bar. They keep raising the bar after beat after beat after beat. So how long is this going to keep up? I don't know, but they're going really strong. They got strong momentum, so we'll see. And they've also raised the bar here. 42.71 billion is a substantial increase from the previous beat. So we'll see if they can keep up. Again, those are just the numbers that will be released. The big thing is, if you guys have some time, maybe 30 minutes this evening, listen to the conference call if you can. You'll listen to the CFO, you'll listen to the CEO, you'll listen to some other speakers giving forward guidance about Nvidia for the next few months, next quarter, in the future. And lots are impacting what could happen with tariffs, production. They're not just semiconductors and like processors and chips. They also do data centers. They're also got their hand in AI. So they do a lot of other things, okay? So just keep that in mind, guys. If you can, listen to the conference call, listen for some clues going into the future, because it might dictate how the markets move for the next little bit, okay? So that's on there. It's going to be very volatile. So this is where you got to ask yourself, do you want to be in any trades in the after hours while Nvidia is releasing earnings, okay? It might, if it's bad numbers, for example, then the markets could take a little bit of a sell-off, okay? We also have Salesforce CRM. This is like a Dow Jones security here, and some AI securities. But the big one is Nvidia this afternoon at 4:20 p.m. Eastern when the markets close. So over here on Yahoo Finance, what's going on? Hudson Bay to terminate more than 8,300 workers by Sunday. See how quickly that can happen. There's a lot of places cutting production right now, cutting jobs. Nvidia earnings to reveal the hit from U.S. export curbs on China. Equifax report says 1.4 million consumers missed a credit payment in Q1. I read I don't know how accurate it is, but I read that about 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Like that's really high. I don't know how accurate that was, that article I read. I don't know, but 60% living paycheck to paycheck is astronomical. So if you add some more pain by tariffs and things like that, even if it's just 10%, that's an extra 10% that consumers do not have. They're struggling to pay their bills, they're struggling to pay their rent, they're struggling to buy groceries. And now to have an additional 10% tax on top, it's hurting. There is some individuals who are okay and don't mind it, but reading these reports, a lot of individuals are struggling right now. Okay, so hopefully the market can get better. Maybe the interest rates start to decrease and help some individuals out. We'll see what happens. So what else do we got going on? Here in Canada, more Canadians plan to carry mortgage debt into retirement. That's not necessarily what you want to do going into retirement. You don't want to be carrying up more mortgage debt. So as a trader, guys, forget about the Lamborghinis for now. Let's make some money and pay off all your debts so you can go into retirement debt free and not worry about those things. Then you can buy your Lamborghini. What else we got going on? Okay, so this is the FOMC minutes that I was talking about. So minutes of the Fed's May meeting likely to show officials grappling with uncertainty. So that's what we got going on today, guys. Right now in the market's pretty flat. The E-mini S&P is negative 0.09%. The mini Dow negative 0.14%. Nasdaq is pretty flat, negative 0.03 right now. But we'll see how markets open up when we get to Wall Street. Over here, guys, we do have signals. This is our Discord channel where we send signals out over here. We've got indices and everything. There was one that was sent out earlier prior to starting the call for buy on Nasdaq at 21,415. It's running a little bit. Maybe we can look for a pullback when we get into the charts. And everyone on YouTube, thank you guys for joining. Almost 100 of you guys. We appreciate you guys. And there's a free Telegram channel pinned at the top of YouTube for you guys. It's this one right here. You've got our links to join the YouTube lives, some examples of the trade signals, and some summaries of our live sessions that we do, some blogs that we have available for you guys as well. Where to find all these things? If you come to our website, stocksandtrading.com, come to more blog. Here's your free blogs. That was the one we did on trading on a US bank holiday, regarding volume and volatility and spreads and slippage and things like that. And we also made our own indicator here, unlocking market structure, the power of a SST daily bar, and it also has an accompanied like a Fibonacci retracement that kind of follows it. I'll show us today how it looks like. But we're going to tweak a few more things on it and make it kind of custom to SST over here. Okay, so guys, let's get into the charts. We'll get started with gold, and then we'll do Nasdaq. We'll have both of these done prior to 8:20 a.m. Eastern for Comex. And then just after 9 a.m., we'll do a top down on Dow Jones, US 30, and then we'll bring all the charts together for Wall Street. Okay, so let's get started with these two for now. We'll get started with gold. So this is how gold looks on the 5 minutes right now, but we'll go to the daily and then we'll start bringing it down to hourly, then to the 5 minutes. Okay, so for everyone joining on Zoom, thank you guys. Good morning. Welcome, Mark, Conrad, Tim, Chef Colette. Welcome. Thank you guys for joining. Rev, Samuel, Val, good morning. Thank you guys for joining. And YouTube, thank you guys for joining as well. Rich, thank you for joining. Arman, welcome. Ahmed, welcome. Habibi, thank you for joining. Shane, welcome all the way from South Africa. Thank you for joining. Doug, friend, welcome. KK, CC Mornings. Ryan, welcome, guys. Thanks, everyone. Bogaza, welcome. Eddie, thank you, guys. Okay, so let's get started. Trevor, welcome. Thank you for joining, brother. Let's get started on the daily. Okay. So again, this is gold. Should look very familiar to you guys. If you are trading the markets every single day, the daily candles are not going to change. Just you should be aware that 3,500 is the all-time high on gold. Not too far away from it. This zone over here is a zone of supply from that all-time high. Here's your little pocket of volume right there. You can stretch it into the future, and when you stretch it into the future, then you can start to see how it made the double top right here, and it also retested it and got rejected. So if we continue with this zone into the future, it came very, very, very close over here. Again, my mouse is acting up, guys. Oh no. Okay, so right over here, you see how close we came. This was Friday of last week. So we didn't open this week and come in here. They opened it, ignited bearish on the daily on Monday, continued to push down on Tuesday, and today we came into this 50%, and so far it's got rejected. So if we lose this daily blue volume here, this bullish volume, then we could start to turn into a shooting star candle and start pushing down on gold, maybe targeting 50% of last Tuesday's candle, around 3,260 in here. Or it may hold in here and we continue to move back up, okay? So just like we found a red box, can we find a green box? This one was the one I've been targeting for the past few weeks and months. This little bullish flag in here, where the market went, where gold went to the all-time high. So that looks like a bullish flag pattern. And if we stretch that into the future, you can see how now the volume reacted when we had this pullback in here, and it came right back up. Again, it came in here, it held for a little bit, then this big bearish candle closed below, it did push down. So our lowest point so far, like what we can see, we have our all-time high 3,500, and then we've got this low wick right here at 3,120, and came back up, closed above. We kind of just traded sideways right around this demand zone where it was bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. And then we finally retested it, making higher lows, bullish ignited, higher low. And then we started to continue to move back up last week. That was Friday. And this is this week coming right back down, okay? So now we've got our zones. Now what we can do is find some points of interest within this trading area in here. So points of interest are where bodies open, where bodies close, where maybe wicks meet. So this is all you can do. Everyone can have different points of interest, right? There's no right answer where to do this or how to do this. What I do is I come to the bodies. So on this big move where it came up, there's a body close and a body open right here. So that's a point of interest for me on the daily at 3,358. And then as it came down, I can start to see like a body here, a body here. Still the volume is still staying up. I could go a little higher into these bodies. I could go right into there. What I do is I kind of place a line, and then I look where it's the best area to place it. So when I place it right there, I do get that body. I get that body. I come across, I get a wick that touches it. I cut that candle right in half, 50%. Then I also get a body there, a body there, a body there, a body there, 50% of this candle, and a wick right there. So it looks like a pretty good area. And then I look here, the wick broke, but the volume stayed above. The wick touched it right there. The wick touched it right there. So we're right there. And then what I last thing I do is I look at the number. If it's a nice whole psychological number and I got a lot of touch points, then I know it's a good point of interest. So 3,289.90, that's a good psychological area, and I get a lot of touches, so I'm happy with that point of interest, right? And then if we do break and we drop, maybe like right here, 50% of this bullish candle might be the next target right there. Again, that's me just guessing where it is. If you don't want to guess and you want to be 100% accurate, grab your Fibonacci tool from where that bullish candle opened, where it closed. There's the exact 0.5, so you can see how I was off by just a tad. So if I move the the yellow line to that right there, the 0.5, now I got it perfectly. Again, you can do also a zone a little bit above, a little bit below if you like. Or you can just utilize a line, okay? Now, just going off of yesterday's candle, so let's take a look. Let's just recap the week how it started. Remember, Monday, U.S. banks were closed, Wall Street was closed, but there was still some trading going on. It opened bearish, ignited. So you see on Monday, the start of the week, it didn't even take out Friday's high. So already the market is kind of making a statement that we're going to push the market down. We're not allowing it to even test Friday's high. It wasn't too far away from the opening price. They could have easily tested that, maybe broke it and came a little higher, but they didn't. Okay, so now we can see it opened bearish on Monday. It came down relative to right around 50% of this bullish candle, found some support, came up and closed as a hanging man candle with some bearish volume inside. And then the next day we opened where we closed. We opened. Yesterday was bullish, coming right up at the start of the day, but you see how it traded right into 50% even of that thin volume yesterday. Still, that's where the point of control is. And it got rejected, and it was a very bearish day coming back down, and we took out the Monday's low. So that's a point of interest, Monday's low. Okay, and then we continued to push down where we came down all the way down to this point of interest level, and the buyers were there and came up at the end of the day and closed. Relatively bearish, and you see that yellow line from Monday's low, it's representing about 50% of the current volume yesterday. And now we opened right here today. It was initially bearish where we came down and we made a low of a day. So if you want, you can utilize this yellow line to represent the low of the day and just change the color if you want. You see how I'm moving it now to represent kind of the volume right now currently. I moved it off of those bodies, or I could just keep it at those bodies and I could bring the line, I could place another purple line right there at the low wick, but it's going to be a lot of lines. Okay, so what you can do is just move that yellow one. I distinguish my high and lows with a purple line, and then I can see it came back up. Where? To the opening price. So that's a point of interest because we may revisit this today. So I want to know where we closed yesterday and where we opened yesterday. And look at the number, exactly 3,300. Nice psychological number. And when we came back from the low of the day, we came back to our opening price. The buyers were there. They pushed this candle all the way up to, right here, this point of interest. If you want to go, again, a little higher to the high wick, you can certainly manipulate that yourself and place a purple line up there and to show you that we got rejected. And if you need to draw a box inside here, you're welcome to do that. So if you want to do that, let me just show you how. You go from the opening of that bearish candle to the closing of yesterday's volume right there. You can see now our high is kind of at, there's the 0.5, and the next one up is the 618 or the 382, depending if you've reversed it for bullish bearish. I kind of use it for more for the zone. When I get my zone, it was bearish that day. The volume closed below the zone, so that is a red box going across right into there. Okay. And if you also want to know where 50% is, you can place your 50% line right there. And now we know how we traded into this today. So it was very bullish. It came up. There's the 0.5. It pushed a little higher to the highest point of the day, and they rejected it back down right in that belly of that candle. And as they pushed it down, this is where we are right now. It's got still bullish volume, so we could definitely come back up and trade back in this red zone. Maybe can break it and push higher. If we do, body and a body. Monday's close, Tuesday's open is right there. Will we revisit this? 3,342 possibly, but right now we're below this red box. So sellers, if they exhaust this volume, could come back down to the low point of the day and start to break and then take out that wick and then come back down to this 50% level. So the last thing that's holding this thing up is right there, that wick at 3,278. Okay, so that's how it looks on the daily. Now what I do is I just go back and I look at the overall picture of what's going on. So we do have this clear double top where it came up, all-time high, the volume right there. It pushed down to our area of support. It came back up, double top, came back down. There was a break but nothing really happened down there. The buyers stepped in, barcoded it. We're still respecting this green zone. And then we came back up, but we didn't come into the red zone. So technically it is a lower high and they're pushing it down. But we're just inside here, right in the middle. So this is where it can get consolidated, where it can just, buyers can buy, sellers can sell, buyers can buy, sellers can sell, until we determine what our next move is. Next move could possibly come back down to this yellow line, back down to the green box, or we can just hold here and then we continue to come up here, maybe break, retest this, and then trading up to that supply area. Okay, and our daily candle now, it's got some range, but doesn't show like a bullish hammer candle, doesn't show like a shooting star. It opened bearish, it went bullish, and then it came back down, and this is the volume where it is right now. So if we go to the hourly now, the 1H, now we can kind of see where the moves were this morning. We had some big moves here yesterday at midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., there's 3 a.m. London, and then we move into, we had a kind of, we traded this session yesterday, the 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and then things started to open up a little more in the afternoon, and then we see when they pinned it right here, this is the futures market right here, 8 p.m. Eastern. They pinned it, they pushed it down, it came back up again, they pushed it back down. So when I look at the lows, it is making a higher low, higher low. It is ascending, so you can draw a trend line if you like to show it ascending. The overall move on the hourly is bearish from here, lower high and a lower high again. But we'll see if we can continue to push up. So right here, 1 a.m., we had a nice bullish candle. It retested at 2 a.m., that's pre-London. Here's London's hourly candle, nice big bullish candle. 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and then right here, 6 a.m., they started to bring it down. So when I'm looking now for hourly points of interest, I like this right here, where you got a body, you got a wick, and it's where we're kind of trading right now. So I place a white line right here. White line represents hourly, okay? Yellow daily, purple high and low of the day, white is hourly. And then I look back and then I can see when we close below, look at that bullish candle, came right to that white line and got rejected. Again, this was a bullish candle that came to the right to that white line and got rejected. Here we broke through it during the futures, but the volume closed below it and we continue to push down. Again, at 10 p.m., it came up impulsively and then back down. Here now we've closed above the white line and now we're retesting it right now as we're speaking. So we just came down on this 7 a.m. candle and it's holding that white line right now. So that is showing us that could be hourly support to continue to move back up and trade in the red zone in here, okay? But looking at the hourly, we've got already one move that came in and we have a move coming down. So maybe it might trade sideways, consolidate a little bit, and maybe it might have its next leg to come back up. It may break for a new high, or it could just be kind of like a double top and then come back down. Okay, or we just break and we drop a little further if we cannot hold this white line. So we'll find out next few hours what it wants to do. If it can close above here on the hourly and then you can change this red box to green, maybe this might be coming demand, so then gold can start coming back up to these levels. Okay, so right now we're following a big bearish candle that engulfed this candle, and right into half of this one, and now we're holding some support trying to come back up. Now let's go into the 5 minutes. Okay, so these are our 5 minutes. It's coming from all the way over here where it dropped, so the sellers were in control, found some good support down here. It came back up, back down. It's building slowly. It took out these highs right here, and you can see the highest point of the day is right here at 6 a.m. Eastern, and it's coming down. That's that hourly white line that we just put on our charts, and you can see how it's holding. So the 5 minutes, is this going to be where it came down, back up. Now it's got to figure out where its neckline is on gold. So it's probably like right around here. We'll see. And then one more, if it pulls back down, we can look for a buy. We can either buy maybe like right around here at the white line. We can see when it came down here in the past, it went back up. Here it came down again, went back up. So there is some good support right here where we could definitely wait for a pullback to come back down in here. Maybe we buy at 33.10, 33.9. Maybe it might not come back to the green box. Maybe it produces a pullback, but it's a higher low, maybe at like 50% of this candle at 33.12. Okay, so we can watch that going forward. First, we got to figure out where the neckline is. How high does this run want to go up to before maybe it cools off and pulls back? Like right around here, it's already starting to get pulled back. We'll see how it develops, okay? And then if you want to add a few indicators, like to complement your chart, you can add RSI. You can see we just bounced off RSI when we got to that hourly support on that drop, and it's coming up. Normally it kind of struggles right here at the psychological halfway point of 50 because RSI oscillates from 0 to 100, 50 being the middle. It might come up there, cool off. Yes, it could continue to drive, but sometimes it comes up here and it gets rejected there and pushes back down. So then we look for a pullback buy. That's utilizing RSI. And if we add some moving averages, the popular one most traders use is a 9 EMA, which is this green line right now. And then the 200 EMA is right at our green box and at our hourly support. So it would, if we get a pullback, that might be a good opportunity to look for a buy on gold. You're buying at hourly support. You're buying at a 5-minute support demand zone. You're buying at the 200 EMA. So if we get a pullback there, maybe we can entertain a buy. However, if the sellers close it below there, this might turn to momentary resistance and it might be another further push down, okay? And then this is the SST daily bar indicator that we've created. We're tweaking it a little bit too. So we've added also like a trailing Fibonacci retracement. What I like to do, so this is today's daily bar. We can see where it opened, the low, the high, and where we're trading at right now. What I like to do is you can also go to settings and add like a Fibonacci retracement if you like, right over here. I like to just know where the 0.5 is right here. So I'll click on the 0.5 and add it. And it's this kind of orange line right over here. So I know that right there, 3,308 is 50% of today's range. So even if it comes in there like for a pullback, that might be a good opportunity because then we're buying at 50% of the daily volume currently in the daily candle. So that would be like an optimal place to maybe look for a buy. So we'll leave that trailing behind as well here. So that's everything for gold. And we'll leave gold right over here to the left of the chart. And we'll also do Nasdaq, and we'll wait for this candle to close. We can see it's kind of struggling. So it came up and back down, and it just came up again, back down. So it's on the 5 minutes, gold is struggling with this area right here. 3,315 on the dot right there, okay? So maybe it needs to come all the way back down. Maybe it needs to consolidate in here, but we'll let it continue to do its thing. What we can do while gold is consolidating, we can move over to Nasdaq and do Nasdaq right now. And then have both of these ready for 8 a.m. Okay, so are you guys okay with the gold analysis? It's just trading inside here for now. We'll let it consolidate maybe. Maybe it might make its next move up, or it will pull back down into here, okay? So let's do Nasdaq while we got some time here. We just had a 735, so about right now. A buy signal just came out for gold at around 33,000. 33,000. I would love if gold is 33,000. 3,313 right here. Or we can wait more for like a more discounted area right here. But if you feel like you want to go into a buy, you certainly can right now. I'm going to continue to wait it out until I get Nasdaq done. Then I'll revisit. But if you guys are looking at this area, you could buy a pullback right now. But I'll revisit this and we'll come back with both charts. Okay. So let me just do Nasdaq. Starting again on the daily. Okay, so one zone we can mark up is the double top all-time high right up here on Nasdaq. We're getting really close to maybe making an attempt to get up here. And remember, Nvidia has earnings in the after hours that could possibly give it that lift that it needs to get up there. However, if they're really disappointing earnings and not a good forward guidance, then you'll see maybe a bearish move coming down. So we'll see. Nvidia is going to be a big one today. This is another zone, which was in the past was support there, bounced up, came in here again, back up, came in here again, back up, came in again, back up. Now with the volume closing below, we flipped the zone red, and you can see we closed above it right over here, and now turn it green. And then you can see how it was retested when? On Friday. So Friday came right in the middle of that green zone, came back up, it closed right there, and then we opened ignited to start the week on Monday with the US banks closed and Memorial Day. It was a bullish engulfing candle with that limit, with that volume that we had in that day, and it already retraced down and continued. But you can see right here, this point of interest. See how clear this point of interest looks? Like you have to place a box, a line, anything right here. You have to see this 21,500 where it came up, back down, came up, back down, came up, back down, and now we're coming right back into it today. So we might break this and have an impulse. So if we break this yellow line, are we going to go right up to that red box? What you got to look back is what type of traffic did we have inside here? We've traded from the above the yellow line to the red box all over here. Okay, so there is probably another point of interest within all of this traffic, and I'd like to place it right here. Why? Because I got a body, a body, a body, a body, a body that closed above, a retest, go back up, and then here a black bearish body close below it, and then look at the bullish retest again of that yellow line and push down. So it's good point of interest from 21,500. The next zone is 21,750. So that would be about 250 pips to fill from here to there. And then if it continues bullish, then you're coming up to that big red all-time high supply. Okay, so this is where if it does come up, maybe there's a lot of offers right here that they want to keep the market down. They want to keep Nasdaq down from coming and revisiting the all-time high supply. So if I was a big seller in the market, like if I owned a hedge fund and I shorted from the all-time high supply and I wanted to continue my position in the market and I haven't covered yet, I would be placing more offers here or here, because I'm, as a short seller, I want to keep the market down as much as possible. So the more offers up there, then you're absorbing the buyers, and then maybe you can push the market down. So I guarantee you there's a lot of short sellers trying to short the market, and you have Nvidia's earnings. Not something I would do, but there's a lot of institutions that are doing that right now. And then all it takes is great earnings from Nvidia, and all of those short sellers can have a short squeeze. They'll be squeezed, and they're going to be forced to cover their positions here or here at a loss, unless they want to hold and draw down for a long time. So that could happen. You might possibly see a short squeeze going into Nvidia's earnings. Not something I wouldn't want to short Nvidia. No way. Not with the streak that they're having. I would stay away from that right now. Okay, and so that's what we're looking to break above here. Again, for scalpers, like intraday traders, that's a big move, okay? 250 pips, but right here, if you want to trade like to right here, just if we break today, have a nice little impulse right here. You've got also a body and a body right over here. On Friday, February 21, you will go over the weekend and you opened Monday right here. So I know it's probably a lot of lines, but this is more for like traders like with my style, more like scalpers or intraday traders. I'm not looking for Nasdaq to come all the way to the all-time high. That would be perfect if I took a scalp and it did that, but more so like just break here and then just get some trading volume come up and maybe test right there. From 500 to 610, that's 110 pips that we could definitely fill during Wall Street, and then start to manage risk right there. But that's a point of interest. It was in the past in the market. Why would it not be going into the future? Okay, so that's what we got above us for Nasdaq. What about below us? What happens if there is a pullback? Maybe 50% of this big bar yesterday. So if you want to guess where 50% is, probably right there. If you don't want to guess, grab your Fibonacci tool, opening price right there, closing price, and wow, I was right on, 50% right on. If you want to draw yourself, again, a little bullish zone, one notch above, one notch below, there's your bullish zone, and stretch it into the future. So if we revisit this, maybe we'll hold here and bounce and come back up. If we lose this point of control, then we could have some bearish momentum. Trade right down here where this body opened, closed, this one opens. Right there again, I'll have a point of interest. I could continue to do this, keep going down. Right here is a point of interest. Right here is a point of interest. But I place more focus on the 50% level as opposed to just this one. This one holds more weight, you know, this holds more weight. The meat of the candle holds more weight, okay? So now let's just take a look at from yesterday. We opened, it was bearish. We came down just above 50% of this big bullish start of the week. Weekly volume was there supporting this move. The buyers were there, they pushed it right back up to the opening. We had nice bullish volume yesterday, closing relatively right near the high, short wick, okay? And then today they opened it, so now we got to get some points of interest on today, and where we closed yesterday, right there we closed, we opened. It was bearish, 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 our low of the day. So if I place a yellow line right here, sorry, a purple line at the low of the day, we can see relative now, we are maintaining above that meat of that candle still. We haven't tested, we have not came inside the green box yet. Make note of that. So they held it, they supported the move just above it, and the buyers were there pushing it right back up to where we opened. The candle actually flipped where we filled that wick, and then it popped a little bit and it drove, and that's where we are. Our highest point right now, we can clearly see the high of the day right there. And so did we come up to these tweezer top highs? Not yet. See that tweezer, that high and that equal high? Right now, today's high, technically it is a lower high, and then they pushed it down from there, but we still have this volume. So we've got kind of like a bullish spin top on the daily where it might continue to get bullish volume, test the high, maybe we break up to there. But this is an area that we have to really watch, okay, right there. So you see how I'm just placing a red box right there, just from where we traded today, the highest point, and those two wicks. So just to just keep us aware that that's where it got rejected, and rejected hard. So we're coming back up. Now, again, I look at the daily pattern. So we have this big push coming up from here, this big rally. It came all the way there. There was our top. It got rejected 3 times up there. It came back down. We traded right into the heart of that green box, and there's the volume holding. So there's our neckline now, and we're coming right back up right there. So this looks like a double top, like it comes up and it wants to maybe come down, test here, here, or all the way down, okay? But however, if we got a good push and we can break for a new high going into Nvidia's earnings, maybe we'll break here, close above here, and then maybe retest here or retest here, and then we got continuation, new higher highs, okay? But you see right now we're at the structural resistance, could be possible double top. Maybe they consolidate it here today, and then Nvidia might have the momentum to break through here. Or if Nvidia's earnings are a disappointment, maybe it will start to retrace back down. Okay, so those, we have to be aware of this. Okay, where we are on the daily. Now moving from the daily to the hourly. We can see we had there was that big sell-off on Friday, 7 a.m., but got gobbled right back up, retraced, and then came right back up, big recovery. Like that dip never even happened, and then we came right back up. So just continuing off of this, continue push new highs, higher than these wicks, pulled back down, got a nice big rejection coming all the way back up. Then we traded, kind of consolidated in here, pushed all the way down. So what's our lowest point of the day? That purple line, we hit it right prior to this call, 5 a.m. Eastern. I can see where pre-London was trading. Right there's pre-London, there's London, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. We had this big, huge candle at 6 a.m., push all the way and close right there. So you see now the yellow line, this was where we got this yellow line from the daily. And you can see how the hourly candles are using this as a point of interest of resistance, 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 resistance. Here we closed above, and look at the yellow line. It's representing relative the point of control, 50% of that big hourly candle. If I did my Fibonacci on that hourly candle, the opening and the closing, you can see that that yellow line is directly right on 0.5. If I want to draw an hourly box, you're welcome to do that. You can go one above, one below. There's your hourly zone. You can look back how it was resistance in the past right there. You can see it came in, back down, came in, back down, came in, broke, and now we closed above it. So this might be showing us that there is hourly support in here. If Nasdaq comes in here, maybe we could look for buys coming out to come back up. Okay, so that's one zone we'll definitely be watching as it's coming down right now into it. Okay, and then on the 5 minutes, this is now breaking down that big hourly move by 5 minute increments. This is how it looked. Came up, consolidated, continued to push, close above. We pushed all the way, and now it came back down. It just came up. They pushed it down right around 50% of that bearish candle right there, and starting to push down. So if I'm looking for just a 5 minute resistance, if I keep it consistent with the bodies, I got a body, I got a body, a body, a body, wick, wicks. So in order to see a bullish move, we got to get back above 21,453 up here. Right now it could be consolidating. Maybe we test inside this green zone. We look for maybe pullback buys out of here, or the sellers have control. Maybe they'll close it below here and we'll dip back down. If we're scalping back down, again, where was there some bodies of interest on the 5 minutes? Where was there some support in the market? Maybe turn to resistance right here. It was support there, support there, support there. Here was a minor break. With the volume below, turn to resistance right there, resistance right there. This is where it could be support here. If it breaks, maybe comes down to 21,388, 390. We find some higher low support and we come back up. Okay, so right now that's how Nasdaq looks on the 5 minutes. We can add the daily bar as well on Nasdaq, and so it shows us where we opened, shows us the low, shows us the high, and the volume now is concentrated at this hourly zone right over here. Okay, still holding it up. So we'll put these two now together. I'll add some EMAs, EMA 9. We're at our EMA 9, EMA 200, all the way down here. So gold is dropping, guys. So gold came up and closed below there. And now we're getting the real push down, 750. So it did close below here. So that green box momentarily is red. So any pullback, so if the buyers come back up, maybe it gets rejected and maybe continue to push down. Okay, so maybe we can wait for the first retest to see what happens here. You've got your 9 and your 200 possibly going to cross below, bearish crossover, and maybe this might continue to push down. However, if we see some buyers coming in and bring it all the way back up, maybe back, close it above there, then retest this, then we might get that bullish leg. But first, let's see what the reaction is. Right now it's coming up to retest. Any questions so far? And again, just make note of the time. It's 7:50, 7:51. We're 9 minutes away from a new hourly candle. So I can just see that these candles coming down. I don't even need to look at the hourly candle. I'm assuming that it's bearish because it's making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. But if you need to look at the hourly candle, that's the candle hourly opened, came up, retested here, pushed all the way down just now, and now it's trading again right in that red box there. So this is where we watch it on the 5 minutes, see how it came up bullish ignited. So it's retesting that zone we had green, but this previous body that closed below, we change it red. Now we'll see it's now trading below the 200 EMA, below the 9 EMA. Will the sellers reject this move? Will the buyers come back up strong and close it above? Then this is what I'm trying to determine, whether this is a real sell move or this is a fake out and the buyers are coming right back up. And also picking up on some clues going into 8 a.m. Okay, Nasdaq is building right over here, came down, back up. So that's the neckline right there. If you're looking for like a mini W bottom, double bottom, came down, the neckline is right there. There's the next one. It wasn't in fact a double bottom, it's a higher low bottom coming right back up. So you could get an impulse break just like that candle right there, or you could get a nice break, volume close blue, and it may be at 8 a.m. it retests this, and then Nasdaq is coming right back up to the high of the day and testing to break this hourly supply up there. Is anybody in a trade right now? Gold. Yeah, the gold signal stopped you out. Okay, so 2 more minutes to go. Pretty strong bar coming up. So, you know when I'm looking for first retest of the bottom of that red box, it didn't get rejected. So it came all the way inside of it. It actually touched that 200 EMA and then started to get rejected. So we'll see where this body closes. Thank you guys, over 200 viewers on YouTube. We appreciate you guys. If you guys can kindly leave us a like, we do appreciate it. And there was, Nasdaq made a big move at, 6 a.m. If we look at the 6 a.m. news, like was there any news that was released at that time to cause that? You can double check here. 6 a.m., Swiss news. Sometimes, you never know. Trump could be speaking at this time. Or nothing. I don't see much that really affected that move here, news-wise. Okay, so now we can see that that candle closed, again, right inside the red zone. So now we got to wait for the next candle to either close above or close back below. It's trading right inside of it right now, okay? And this is 4 more minutes to go, and then we're going to get our new hourly candle at 8 a.m. So we can let them fight it out in here. Okay, so maybe that was a fake out. See how it came all the way down, and now it's coming all the way back up. So let's confirm the close. We got to wait 4 minutes to confirm the close. Yes, we might miss out on a bullish candle. That's the problem with waiting for bodies to close. You might miss out on some volume. But I can say the same thing every time we take an impulse candle. Same thing. If we took an impulse candle right there, it was a really nice bullish candle. We could have been in the money, 30 pips. Had we not done anything, then it would have came and hit our break even or eventually our stop loss. Okay, so when in doubt, wait it out. Okay, I know I miss out on a lot of volume and pips to myself waiting for candles to close. But if you wait for a candle to close, you get at least a little bit more confirmation as opposed to just taking any candle like that too. That was a really nice bullish candle, but it got rejected. Where will it close? What happens if it closes back below here and then 8 a.m. it starts bearish? Okay, so sometimes you can't always just trade any candle you want. And then especially these ones that come close to an hourly open, a 30-minute open, because the market plays a lot of games. It will suck in buyers, and then the new hourly candle will drop them down. Okay, sometimes it could get you buy, and then the hourly candle opens in your favor, and then you get that bullish move. But more than not, if you look at probabilities and you actually back test these, it's not the best to be trading on an impulse prior to an hourly candle. I've been shaken out too many times out of those trades, and I wouldn't advise it on you guys. Okay, so far again, looking at the volume, is still inside this zone right here. I can make this zone neutral, and so it's not red, it's not green, it's just a neutral zone. And we'll let the volume determine what color it should be. Okay, now we got 2 more minutes to go. So again, it came up to that resistance point and rejected back down. Where will this volume close? And also Nasdaq, it's breaking that neckline. Will Nasdaq get some volume closing positive above there? See that Fibonacci retracement level right at that 0.5? So that's where it kind of found some good support, broke below it, but came right back up. So see how this is trailing behind the zone? So that's a nice little, neat little indicator right there. We have the Fibonacci tool attached to this daily bar, but it gets busy when you add every single line. So I kind of just left it at the 0.5. I'll add it on Nasdaq in just a moment. We got 60 seconds to go into the close. A new hourly candle, 8 a.m. And then just recap, guys, we're 20 minutes away from Comex market, and we don't have any 8:30 folders to be concerned about today. And in the last 30 seconds are key on any candle. Shows who has momentum going into the close. If you watched the New York Knicks game last night, they had no momentum. Nothing. From the start to the end of the game, they just couldn't put it together. Tough loss. Now they're down 3-1 against the Pacers. I don't know if they got to win the next 3 games. It's tough. Okay, so the bar closed above. Okay, closed above the red zone, so I'm just going through red to green. So if it pulls back, maybe we can buy in here. It's already bullish, so it could definitely take out the wick and drive for a new high or we can wait for a pullback. It just opened bullish and it's running, looking good. Okay, but maybe I gotta wait for a pullback. Nasdaq closed right at the line. It opened bearish ignited, got a good retest. Okay, so you could see maybe Nasdaq continue to push up and try for the highest point of the day right there. So I'm kind of waiting for a pullback. Maybe if I can get something back in around 3310. And again, I might miss out on a move, right? But I'm still waiting for a pullback in here. Regardless, even if it goes all the way up here, I'm still going to wait for a pullback in this zone. It's hard to patiently wait for pullbacks because I can see I'm missing out on some good volume. Missing out on some pips here. But from time to time, if you just continue to buy the high points and then they pull you down, then you're going to suffer a little bit of drawdown. And then you just got to learn in your head to let a trade go. If it goes, okay, it goes. But I keep telling myself, if I just wait a little bit more patient, maybe it will come back and retest this zone. And that keeps me from making a lot of excessive impulsive moves in the markets. Because as a scalper, you're going to be exposed to so many opportunities, and the market wants to trick you with impulse moves. So you got to have some sort of plan. You got to have a plan, and you got to stick to it. That's a good solid candle opening the new hour. Okay, so you can see it's an ignited 8 a.m. open. There was no pullback so far. So we'll see. Maybe I have to buy a pullback after this candle. When this candle closes, it might close above all this structure, and then I'll figure out where 50% of this volume is. That might be my pullback entry if I can't get the green zone. Yeah, it's right back at the 3,313 signal. Okay, but this is right here where you got a lot of wicks right here. Okay, right here, this area right here. This is what we got to kind of watch for. Right here, this bigger neckline. So this is the bigger neckline. Why? Because it got rejected there, rejected there, rejected there. That was that big impulse. Again, rejected, pushed down. Now we're coming right back into it. So can this body physically close above, close in it? Sellers push it back down. Nice strong candle. But let's see if it's got enough juice to get and close above here. Okay, so far got rejected again in there where there was multi-rejections. Let's see where the volume will close in the next 47 seconds. Okay, so they rejected it. How much of this volume are we going to retain? Now it's an inverted hammer candle, rejected at that resistance point. Okay, are we going to lose our volume? Is it going to retain a little bit? Will it pull back? Maybe we can look for that entry here at 3310. Okay, here's the close. And then make note of how long the wick is. So it's not a short wick, it's a rather large wick. Okay, so open bearish. Now, if it retests 50% of that previous volume, there's your 9 EMA some of you guys use. So you can kind of use your 9 EMA as a support line. So we'll see, will the candle flip? Will it come back down? Okay, so far it's engulfing that bar, just the first 40 seconds. But if it can come all the way back down, remember I was saying I was waiting for a pullback somewhere in the green zone. Okay, will it come a little deeper right at that 200 EMA, or that's it? Maybe it's just retesting the top of the green box here. Okay, I'm going to go in a buy now. I'm in a buy on gold. It retested. I got a little bit of a pullback as opposed to buying that high point of 33.14. I'm in a buy here. I just got to place my stop loss. Where would I place my stop loss now? So I could keep a really big stop loss all the way down below here. I could maybe keep it below 0.5, the 3,308. I could keep it just right below here. So that's where I'm going to keep it, right there. And then I'm going to see if we can get respect in this green box here. Maybe come back up. Should have waited maybe a little longer to get a better entry, but those first wicks can be deceiving, where they come and they retest and then they push up. So I'm in a buy with most of you guys. I think you guys are in a buy on gold. I entered here at 3311. Okay, so you see it came deeper into the green zone. It was coming up and again they pushed it down. So there is some strong sellers in the market. You can see every time it comes down, the buyers are pushing up, then it comes down again. Yeah, and that's my stop loss there, because if it comes down and closes below here, then gold could turn bearish and start really pushing down. So that's going to be my stop right there. I'll let you guys know when they tap me out here. Yeah, that's it. Tapped out. Okay, so took that L right there. I can get back in, but I don't want to hold the trade. If it comes down, if it comes back up and the buyers, then I could look for another buy, but I don't want this thing to close down and then start pushing all the way down 3,300. Yeah, that was a terrible candle. Ahmed, welcome to the world of trading, brother. Shit like this happens. The main thing is risk management. If you do take losses in trading, you're going to take losses. Everyone is. But I control my risk. I didn't risk a lot on that to panic or be done for the day or to blow an account. Risk a little bit. 0.2% is not a big risk right now. I just stay focused. I see how far down did it come. Did it create a new low? That was my stop. Okay, I just placed my stop right there. The market is targeting my stops as of late. I think I gotta stop saying where my stop loss is and just go back to trading with my mental stop loss. Or my stop is just a tad bit tight. It's too tight. I gotta maybe open it up, give it more room to breathe. Because if I just gave it another couple pips to breathe, maybe below those, but I'd still be live in this trade. It's very tight, you know, but with a volatile market, it's okay to be tight because I don't want a huge bearish candle come down and kind of really cause damage. But anyways, that was the trade. Took an L. Now we got to just regroup, adapt, come back, watch where the volume is closing. Anyways, this range it's a tough range. So I learned my lesson on that. Now I got to stay out of the market until there's better opportunities. We've got to continue to watch how it builds here. Going into, we're 10 minutes away from Comex. To me, all of this is just sideways trading. I know there was opportunities to scalp a buy there, scalp a buy, sell down there, another buy, but it's just still in this range. It's not really moving anywhere so far. Okay, so now when we look at the hourly candle, because there's already like 11 minutes into it, so you see how the hourly candle faked out me and the buyers here. It opened, it came up. I didn't buy the high, I waited for that pullback in the green zone, but it came up a little bit and then boom, they pushed it down. So this is the hourly candle, continue push down. It can take out that hourly low wick and drop even further to maybe 3304 down in here. So if you're trying to buy, be careful. Look at that big hourly candle pushing down right now. And we're 8 minutes away from Comex. That's why I placed a stop loss in the market there. Ahmed, you're saying why not stop below the wick? I could have, but again, I wasn't risking that much. Okay, but now, even if my stop was below there, I'm still stopped out and I lose more. So, again, if it's those woulda, shoulda, couldas. If you keep looking, why didn't you place your wick here? Why didn't you place it there? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Again, you're just playing that psychological game of what if I did this? What if I did that? I liked my stop loss where I placed it. If the depth of market was strong there, there would have been buyers there. There's no buyers there. There's more sellers. So even if you place a deeper stop loss, you're taking a deeper loss. Then we'll have that conversation again. I'll ask you, why didn't you place your stop loss higher? Why did you lose that much? If you want to play those games, you can play those games in your head. I'm not playing those games no more. I played those for years. And I didn't get ahead in trading. Okay, now. Did they come now and do the final liquidation? Really take out all the buyer's stops? Okay, so they went deep down there. Okay, so now look at how, so maybe they cleared the liquidity now. Okay, so here we go 1 minute into the close. 5 more minutes, we have Comex. Okay, so anyone that had their stops below here got tagged out. Now this might provide some rocket fuel to launch this thing. And then if you want to take a trade, like on the next bar, just remember, just heads up, you're taking it 5 minutes prior to Comex market open. If you want, decide now if you're going to wait for Comex or go ahead with your trade now. But just again, utilize proper risk. Okay, where will this body close? If it still closes below right here, okay, so it closed below, so technically this is still a red zone, but it opened with a very bullish ignited candle following that big momentum off of that wick, open bullish. So if this is a strong bullish candle going into Comex, it should at least close above this red zone. Okay, I'm giving it just that. Okay, really nice bullish candle. Did they liquidate everybody? Take out all the buyers, and then now this is when you watch a move run. Okay, So I'm going to wait for this full candle to close. Will it close above here? Will it close above this red zone that it struggled with this entire call since we started? Or is it just going to play games in here again? And then also Nasdaq looks like maybe a double top at the highest point of the day. Could see maybe a drop down. Okay, so tag that red line again. They rejected it back down. Where will this volume close? Gold is ugly. It's all right. It's ugly. Just trade accordingly. I think Armandi, the entire markets have been weird this week. You know, with the U.S. banks closed and for Memorial Day and Wall Street closed, and then you have that big bullish ignited candle on Nasdaq. I don't know. I didn't expect that much volume on a Memorial Day weekend. Okay, so that was a nice bullish candle, came all the way back up, pushing it back down. It's going to really, really frustrate you as a trader. It's frustrating the sellers. I guarantee you that big bearish candle, the sellers were loving it, and then it came right back up. And so the sellers are getting frustrated, buyers are getting frustrated, and that's exactly what the market wants. It wants to frustrate buyers and retail buyers and sellers. And all they're doing is just playing games with us, accumulating so that they can do their big move once they have enough volume. And you and I are just getting stopped out back and forth here. Okay, so we got 2 more minutes to go and then Comex market open. Carlos, welcome. Gold is on a rollover for futures. That's why it's acting weird. Yep. SST Scotty. Welcome, Scotty. Welcome, guys. Okay, so we're going to get Comex market in 90 seconds. Okay, so 30 seconds going to close. Remember, okay, so just recap. With that big bearish candle that came out, took out that low, liquidity sweep, big push back up where it closed here. This candle opened ignited, bullish, came all the way up. They rejected it back down. Still got the volume, you know, concentrated in that zone. I should just make this a neutral zone for now. Maybe it's throwing traders off. So here's that neutral zone. We closed in. Here's Comex market open. Okay. Big bullish ignited candle again. It could just come up and go back down. Or if you want to just buy right at market open, you're welcome to do that. Because it could just come up and then back down again. But this is now much more volume than any other time right now. Now you have the commodities exchange that just opened. So it came up, pushed it back down. It's still an ignited open, so it could still be filling. If this candle flips, and gets a wick or turns into a shooting star, we've lost our ignited open. So it is still technically holding its open. There. Now we just kind of lost it. Okay. But holding still. Still holding. Still holding. First minute. Okay, so there, now we lost our ignited open, so it's a shooting star candle now. So now we'll see how far down will it come down to. Will it get a higher low? Is it going to close below here? And then we're pushing down on gold. We might have to sell. Okay, just looking at these wicks, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. If volume closes below here, they already took out the lows. They could definitely... Gold could sell, guys, okay? But let's see where the bodies close. Let the bodies do the talking. I'll try and avoid talking, and we'll let the volume do the talking. It's in a tough range, guys. There's not much we can do. Like, I guarantee you there's just as many buyers as there's sellers in the market right now. Probably half of us are divided. Half of you guys are buyers, half of you guys are sellers. And that's what the market wants. It's hard to predict which way this is going to move right now. And if you're on the sidelines, Sherry, yeah, you're not getting frustrated with us buyers and sellers right now. I think like a sell maybe for the second leg on Nasdaq might be okay to look at. We're at the highest point of the day. We're losing some volume right now. Sellers could come in and take it for one leg down. For Nasdaq, and then we'll see if gold closes bearish below here. Guys, I wouldn't be surprised if sellers take control of gold. Yeah, in trading, there's only one winner. When someone loses, someone wins. When someone wins, someone loses. That's the way it is. Okay, so I want to see what type of reaction Nasdaq gets in here. It just broke for a new high of the day. If you own a broker, you're the one making all the money. Brokers make money on spreads and commissions regardless. Okay, so one more minute to go. So it opened, just a recap of how it opened. Remember, it was a bullish ignited open. It came up very strong and it came back down. It held for 1 minute, about 90 seconds, that bullish open. And then the sellers took control and broke it, dropping it down. Where will this body close? If it closes below here, then that neutral zone, again, I'm going to make red to illustrate that buyers have to buy in there, but it might be pushing down. So this might be an opportunity to look for sells coming down. Or what I can do is maybe get rid of this zone, and then I'll show you a support zone right here, and then maybe we'll look at the bigger picture. We'll kind of clean up the chart a little bit right here. Okay, so maybe this might clean it up just a little bit. So we're not too focused on just in the middle here. We're focused more on the bottom and more on the top here. Okay, so we'll watch and see. Last time we came down here, remember, was that big wick that came back up. So we'll see if it breaks and then turns back up, or is this volume actually going to close below here? Then you got bearish momentum. So you got to be careful with buying. Guys, I'm going to enter a short position on Nasdaq. The second top up here, it broke that daily high. I'm going to place my stop above that yellow line. Right at, I'll make it a nice even whole number. 501, okay? I'm placing my stop loss above 500, right at 501, and I'm looking to see if it can come back down and test this green zone, okay? So I'm in on the sell on Nasdaq, reason being, I like the double top, and I like how they broke, traded in there, and now it's coming down, okay? So I'm in a sell on Nasdaq. Okay, so if it can come down to that red line, it's approximately 15 to 20 pips. If we can get down to the top of the green zone, the box, 30 to possibly 40 pips down in there, okay? So I liked the sell on gold the sell on Nasdaq as opposed to trading gold right now. I just think the setup is much better, cleaner on Nasdaq. Okay, so I'm gonna sell on gold the second leg. You know, like when we're looking at a M pattern, one top that made the high of the day. There's the neckline. I'd like it to see it come down eventually, and there was where they broke it, the high of the day. And then coming down. So if we get a bearish engulfing candle, I'm going to locate where 50% of that is and follow this volume down. So also gold, guys, making a move. So it came down there, it broke again, higher low, so no volume. Yeah, maybe a double bottom now. Now you can visually see it a little bit better in all of this. There was one bottom, neckline, second bottom, coming back up. Okay, so we could see a nice move on gold as well for the buyers. Okay. It's been accumulating for over an hour, but you know, eventually they will redistribute the volume outside of here. We'll see what happens. I'm in that sell on Nasdaq, okay? My stop loss above the entire red box, above that daily high point of interest yellow line, and I didn't want to just keep it at 500, I put it at 501. 1 pip above for good luck. Yeah, Moika, I'm already in the sell on Nasdaq. I verbally tell you guys. Don't know how you didn't hear that when I said I'm selling. Okay, so 45 seconds. Nice bar engulfing maybe 3 bars. Maybe if it closes near the low, I get an ignited open and continuation drop, but pullbacks, I got to determine where 50% is of that. $20 seconds going to close. So watch gold close as well. Okay, it's respecting this zone right in here. Get rid of this. Let's kind of clean up these charts. It's getting busy here. Okay, so there's the close. It did engulf the first bar. Okay, where's 50% of that? It's right where I entered. There's the 50%. Gold has a bullish ignited bar. Again, if it pulls back, which it may pull back, continue to pull back, 50% right there, 3309. If it pulls back, that might be an opportunity to look for a pullback buy on gold. But it's got an ignited bar, so it's taking it, filling that wick, filling that wick, filling that wick. Again, this is where it's had some difficulties up here, 3313, right up here. So we'll see if it can maybe break above here. We're pushing down on Nasdaq. Remember to that red line. If it gets to that red line, it's approximately 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 pips down there. Okay, gold, nice push. I know it's in this tough range in here, but hopefully maybe it breaks out bullish here. Maybe we'll get a closure above here. Maybe we might flip this red zone green for the first time in, how long has it been? Since 6:45. Almost 2 hours of this range in here. Markinson, gold is flying. We'll see. If it can break out here, maybe we'll fly. But right now it's still just in this zone in here. Yeah, nice big body candle. Okay, so this is gonna show now the strength of this. Can it break above here and get a closure above this? Notice how there hasn't been a gold 5-minute candle closing above this range since that one right there at 6:55. Okay, so it's been a while. Okay, so nice push again, but every time we pushed up here, they've rejected it back down. So this might be that confirmation bar closes above this area. I would be really strong for gold. Yeah, you need a close above 3313, yeah, 100%. Maybe this is the bar that's going to do it. And then it's time to redistribute all of this volume back up here, okay? However, there could be pullbacks. So wherever this candle closes, we're going to determine where 50% of it is. There's a good push, okay? So is it, how far will it fill that wick? Also, will it make a new higher high from here and here, from that red line? Those were those tweezer top highs right there at 3315 exactly. And also Nasdaq, can it push down? If I can get some bearish volume closing below this red line, that's where that neckline is, then maybe we'll get that further push coming down into here. So I'm still in my Nasdaq sell. And the last 30 seconds is right now. So momentum. Who will have it? Will the sellers have momentum going into the close of Nasdaq? Will the buyers have momentum going into the close of gold? Nope, looks like buyers are closing strong on Nasdaq. Okay, so look at where it closed, right in the zone. So technically, it closed in the zone. It didn't close above it, didn't close below it. So I can't change the color of that zone. It's still red. If it pulls back, where's 50% of that previous bullish candle? Right there is half of it, right there. So if you get a pullback, if it comes down bearish, that's still a healthy pullback at 3312. If it can maintain this volume, maybe catch a wick and then have momentum to break and go above here. Okay, that was not a good strong close on the sellers on Nasdaq. But it's still below here, maybe could flag and then push down. So still holding this, watching it. Gold, just notice the open. It was an ignited bearish open, so it's still got that ignited bearish body. It would be good if it can catch a higher low wick. However, if it does need to test right here in the middle area, that's where the point of control is. So it's right back to my entry point right here. Okay. So it's kind of retesting 50% of that candle that I entered on, that bearish candle. Okay, so there's the retest right there, where I placed it at 50%. Good retest. So now, if this candle flips like a bullish hammer, then ideally what you want to see is it fill the previous wick, fill those tweezer tops, and then start to trade into new charted territory up here. But you still see how it's still holding that bearish body right below this red zone. So it's coming back down to now retest again, 50% of this. Will it hold for a second time? Will it break and come a little lower? If it does, you still have protection by your 9 EMA, your 200 EMA, but more importantly, it is still holding 50%. It came and retested it again and holding. So as it came up again, then the sellers pushed it back down. So I count in my head how many times it retests this and holds. So far 2 times. This may be a 3rd time. It's still holding. Okay, so can now the buyers flip this bearish head? Wow. So there's a lot of resistance at this 3,313 for gold. Holy. They're not allowing this to break as of yet. Okay, so it held 3 times, but then the 4th time is the bigger push down. So now we got to see, will it engulf that previous candle? Will it, where opening price, the 9 EMA come back up? Again, we're still trapped in this zone right here. And then now you're going into the close with 1 more minute left. What is the stream delay? I think it's 10 seconds on YouTube. I don't know. Okay, so now I'm going into drawdown on that Nasdaq sell. Okay, so it did close below 50%. So let's see if it can continue just to consolidate maybe up here. Yeah, this is a daily candle at the right of the screen. You can see that I was in a short at the high of the day, and now I'm suffering a little bit of drawdown. Maybe I should just close this trade out and accept the loss right here and regroup. I'm giving the benefit of the doubt that if the sellers step in here in this red supply zone and bring it back down. However, you know, I'm taking a risk at the highest point of the day, trying to sell. Okay, good barcoding here on gold. Bullish, bearish, bullish, higher low, holding structure. Again, all we kind of need here on gold is a not a daily candle, that would be nice, a 5-minute candle to close above here. That's all we need. And then that will change the entire depth of market above and below. And then maybe might get that full move continuing to break through here. Okay, but it's this area. We just need some volume closing above here. Okay, and then 2.5 minutes to go. Okay, so good bar coming right back up. Let's see, can we get a closure above here? And can Nasdaq, can the sellers step in and close it back below here? And then maybe get that leg pushing down. It's difficult. It's in a tough area right now. Still holding it. It's in drawdown. Yeah, I'm going to close it out. I'm going to accept the loss right now. And I'll revisit it if it does come back down here. But I don't want to be short selling this daily candle now. Tried on that leg down. The buyers are too strong. So I'll revisit this later. Markets are sideways on both of these securities. Wow, what a... Holy shit, gold. Another rejection there. What is going on? This is where the markets play games. Like, the markets do what they do. They play games with us. Like, this is like psychology. Like, coming up there, back down, coming back up, going up, back down. This will drive you crazy. In about 20 more minutes, you might hear me smash my keyboard. I try not to do it while we're live, but if it happens, guys, don't hold me against it, okay? Step on the mouse? No, I'll just smash the keyboard instead. Same with the sellers too. Like, it's got to be frustrating as a seller too. Scotty, yours is already smashed. Yeah, on days like this is where you got to have backup keyboards. I have 10 keyboards as backup. Guys, this is really boring volume, to tell you the truth. This is horrible. Holy. I'm just going to wait for Wall Street. Maybe some better volume. This sucks. What happened this week with the volume? Holy shit, it was so much better. Oh well, we got to just trade what the markets give us. We can't sit here and complain. Gold is stuck in this range. We know the range now. 3313 and down here 3307. This is the current range of gold. And Nasdaq is still pushing. Yeah, everything was moving so nice in the markets last few weeks, and then that U.S. bank holiday Monday kind of interrupted the flow. It's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, guys. Don't worry. Just when you're figuring it out, don't over leverage. That's all you can do. Trevor, you got 7 losses, 3 small wins. Mad chops. It happens. It happens. It happens. It's part of trading. Just don't get frustrated. That's the big thing. Once you start getting frustrated, that's when it all goes downhill. You know, I'm just joking about smashing the keyboards, but that's when it all goes downhill. When you get really, like, look at that. Now I see this huge bearish candle coming down. And then I closed it in the drawdown. I had my stop loss up there. I still would have been in this, but see how the market plays these games. But I could go right back in off of this candle. Wow. Now you see how, like, it's just mind games. Wow. It's like like the markets are programmed to fuck with our minds. Sorry for the language, but this is what they do. I'm gonna wait for this bar to close. I might re-enter my sell position. Okay, so it's like right back to my original position where I sold right there. You know, the woulda, shoulda, couldas. Why didn't I keep my stop loss where I had it placed? You know, those are those questions that haunt you every single day. Join you guys on gold. I'll wait for gold to close above 3313. I'll let all this happen. I like Nasdaq. I don't know why. I like Nasdaq to sell it. I just think the market will drop prior to Wall Street and then they'll buy it back up in Wall Street. But right now is a good opportunity for it to drop. That's my original bias right there. And now they got the big bearish candle coming down right now. But I'm getting ready to maybe re-enter. This time I'll 2x it with my lot size that I lost there. I'll 2x it now. Okay, this is where I increase my sizing a little bit now. So here's where it opened. There's no wick. It could just drop, but it's bullish ignited. Okay, so I just want to see one quick rejection and I might go right into the sell. Okay, but I'm not going to sell a bullish ignited candle until there's either some sort of retest or a rejection. Also gold. Looks like it wants to break out of here, but it's just not there yet. Okay, so there's the rejection. There's the shooting star. Okay, as soon as it can break that, I'm going in. Okay, so this time I'm going to 2x it. I'm doubling up my size on the previous sell. And stop loss, again, my original location, the 501 up there. And I'm looking for it to come back all the way down into here. Okay. And this one I'm going to hold regardless. I'm not going to exit this if it's coming back in this red zone. I'm going to play this one out now, okay? So I'm giving you my full analysis on this, and I'm looking for it to come down there for that 40 pips. Wish me luck. With this trade, if it comes down into here, I'm looking to recover both of my losses on those prior trades. So my thought process behind this is if Nasdaq sells pullback, even a pullback, prior to Wall Street, and then Wall Street maybe they buy the lows and bring it right back up, and we'll see going into Nvidia's earnings. But right now I'm just looking for a push down. Friendly reminder, don't say where's your stop loss. Yeah, hypothetically, my stop loss is up here. Okay, so gold retested 50%. Like all we need is one bullish bar to close above this red box. It looks like it's building. Okay, higher lows, higher lows. Hopefully we will get that closure above here for gold. Okay, so 90 more seconds to go in these candles. And if we can close below this red line, that will be very good for sell position. One more minute, okay? So it's coming right down to that red line. If we can get a push below here and a close, that would be benefiting us on the sell here. However, the market, it could come right back up just like it's doing in here, just like gold is doing, same thing. That's why we've got stop losses in markets, allowing it room to breathe, to come back in here. Hopefully there's more offers next time it wants to come in, and then they really push it down. But however, if this bar closes below here by itself, it could just start another bearish leg coming right back down. Okay, 15 seconds go, and gold, let's see, will we get a bar closing above here, or is it not yet ready? Okay, so we couldn't close below that red line. So it is still a supporting line, that red line, 21,450. Okay, so I'm looking to continue to push down and close below here for my Nasdaq sell. Okay, so gold still struggling with this. I feel for you guys with gold. I feel for you guys. I feel for both of you guys, the buyers and sellers of gold. It's just in a tough range, but just know that after all of this accumulation, it will be redistributed either to the upside or to the downside. But while that's all happening, what we got to continue to look at is every time it comes down, is it higher lows? Is it still holding some structure? Is it pushing back up? Are the sellers able to close it below key structural levels? Are the buyers? So to me, it's still looking like buyers are still controlling this. so far, but we'll see. And we're getting to 9 a.m. in the next 3 minutes. Okay, so get ready for another momentum shift coming at 9 a.m. You're getting a new hourly candle, can change the entire outlook of everything. Also, for me, I'm in a sell on Nasdaq. The hourly candle at 9 a.m. is very important because that represents the Wall Street market open. So, things can switch very fast. But my thought process with Nasdaq is to get a nice selling momentum prior to going into Wall Street, and then maybe they bring it back up during Wall Street. We'll see. But just like a retracement off the highest point of the day at a double top here, just kind of look for some selling pressure to push down. Yeah, GC is in rollover, guys. Also, options expiring at the end of the month, all of these things. That's why it could be a tough week, Just when it's like this, just don't over leverage. That's it. Because then if you do take a couple losses and you over leverage, then that's it. You've ruined your entire week. If you take smaller trades till you get the feel of how things are moving, then you can continue to go in. Okay, so good retest right there. That was a bearish candle that came down, tapped into that. That purple line is a 200 EMA. The green is a 9 EMA. And this orange is part of our indicator right here. It's the Fibonacci following the daily volume. I have it just set at the 0.5, the psychological. So it's still showing 5-minute volume holding above, which is good. We're coming right back up. So this is going to be, again, another attempt in the next 60 seconds to see if we can close above this red box. See how it came up really nice and then they rejected it back down. So get ready for 9 a.m. now. No, I'm talking about options in the stock market, like with Nasdaq over here. The individual securities Nasdaq have options. Nvidia being one of them. Nvidia has monthly options that expire this week. And many others, which could affect the way how the volume is moving. Okay, so we're down to 20 seconds to go, and then we're walking into 9 a.m. We'll stick with this for a few minutes, and then we'll do a top down on US 30, and then hopefully we can take a quick little break and then come back for Wall Street here. Here's the close. So we've got a spin top on gold. We've got this little bullish doji on Nasdaq. Okay, so here we go, 9 a.m. They opened it bullish ignited for Nasdaq. Gold open, pushing down, still in this range right here. So it's like a big wall up here, not allowing the volume to close above so far. Okay, so got a good wick again, coming back up. Is this going to be the one? 905, is this going to be the one that closes above here? Fourteenth attempt, Sam. You know what they say, 15th attempt is the charm. How many attempts has it attempted here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, yeah. But maybe this is the one, okay? So here we go. 3 more minutes to go. Nice, good wicks. Impulse break. So what it's doing is taking out all the stop losses of all of those sellers. That's a nice candle. That's what I like for Nasdaq too, to just be a bearish candle, come down here and take out all these buyers' stop losses. But that's a beautiful candle, okay? It created nice new higher highs, but okay, so one step at a time. It did create new higher highs. We still have half the candle now to go, 2.5 minutes. Where will it close? Will it close above here? Will it close above these tweezer top highs? Are we going to start to shoot into this big red box above us? Where in fact will it close? Okay, we got 2 good retests on Nasdaq. Hopefully we get some volume pushing down on Nasdaq. Again, closing below this red line. Okay, so you see, guys, now you got to wait for bodies to close. That was a beautiful impulse move breaking out of there. It created a new high in the market. It probably hit a lot of pending orders up there, stop losses of all of these buyers in this range. But then now we got to follow where that volume will close. Will it in fact close above this red zone now? Okay, so you also got to follow that volume as well. And this is the volatility. This is 9 a.m. now. Oh my goodness. Nasdaq is a snail. Holy. I think we need to change it up with gold and US 30 and then do Nasdaq at Wall Street. I'm losing my patience with this thing. I don't know why I keep going back to Nasdaq when US 30 is my baby. Carlos, when is it coming? I'm going to go bald here again. This is why a lot of traders have receding hairlines or are bald, is because of this. Dealing with this stress and trauma every single day. Okay, so 20 seconds to go in the close. Again, where will this volume close? Wow. Crazy markets, my friends. Samuel, you need a J? I think we all do. I think all of us need to smoke some weed right now. Okay, so unfortunately, guys, again, just the technicals. It broke. It was a beautiful break, but we didn't get the follow through with the blue volume closing above. So it's still a red zone. And then look at how the next bar opens, ignited, bearish, and continue to push down. So, guys, it's unfortunate, but it's in this tough range, okay? So they're just playing games with buyers and sellers right now. Is Nasdaq in a little flag pattern right in here that could maybe continue to break to the downside? I'm hoping. I'm sitting in the sell, but I don't know how much more patience I have with this. Wow, okay. So gold now. So what it did was took out liquidity above us, okay? So there was, remember, there was liquidity above here, above these highs. Took it out, coming back down. There's liquidity below here. In this area, there's liquidity below, like this low and that low. There's liquidity down in here. Are they going to come down target this liquidity as well, and then just continue to accumulate inside here. We're in a horrible range, guys. Just a horrible range for both of these securities. But it is 9:07. What I need to do is I got to get to US 30 quickly, so that we can take a quick little break. So I trust that you guys can watch both of these securities on your own. I'm going to do US 30, and we'll get all three of these side by side with each other. Okay, so US 30. Oh, it's a beautiful M top too. So if US 30 can break down here, yeah, it's got rejection, rejection, rejection below the neckline. Just looking at the 5 minutes, looks like US 30 wants to push down. Okay, so let's start off on the daily really quickly, and do this so we can get ready for Wall Street. Okay, quickly, all-time high supply double top on US 30, right there. We're going to do this a little faster, guys. I'm watching Nasdaq on another screen, so if you guys can keep me updated with that as well. Okay, this little zone right here where there was support in the market. Now let's stretch it across and see where, okay, so we're trading above this, okay? Okay, and then points of interest on the daily, okay, right here. This is definite point right up here. Okay, so I'm going to make it yellow up there, that point of interest. If we do come up here, 42,000 right there, okay? Also, just some points of interest below us right there. We already broke, but now volume is above us, okay? So what we got to look for is now inside here. Okay, these are our daily candles. Came up, retested 50% of this one, held, came all the way back up here, pushed down, broke down in there, came up, closed again in the green zone, retested it yesterday. Look at where it closed. Like, look at the wicks. They're funny. It closed right at the high. So when we put a high wick at today's high, okay, right there, purple line, you can see how close it is to yesterday's high. Okay, so it just broke just a tiny bit. If this candle flips bullish and goes up, we could fill right up to this body that on Wednesday, May 21. So right there, a yellow line point of interest. Okay, and then let's just follow today's. Okay, we open. That's the high of the day. It was bearish, came down. We made the low of the day. Already established so far. And it's coming right back up. Will it flip this candle? And we're going to continue bullish. We don't have much of a wick to flip. And then we continue to drive up in here. Okay, if we just look at yesterday's volume, the 50%, the zone, open, close, just so we know relative to the pullbacks. 0.5 is right there, like right by our purple line. So I'm not going to place another line, but I'll do a zone. A little bit above, a little bit below. There's my zone. And we'll see if we come back, retest this, or hold it. So there's our retest today. Beautiful, right inside yesterday's volume. And now it's pushing up, okay? So going now to the hourly. Yeah, Nasdaq is pushing up. I see that. Wow, holy shit. It looks like Hakanashi candles. These candles coming down. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it hit the highest point of the day, 7 p.m., dropped down. Look at these things. And then we made our low of the day, 5 a.m., big bullish candle. Again, look at the retest from this big, abnormal, large candle at 6 a.m. If you're just looking at half of it, probably somewhere right around there. But we don't need to guess. What we can do is get the fib tool of that big bullish hourly candle. And there's the 0.5. If we need to draw an hourly zone, still showing bullish structure. Right in here. Dow is king, Scotty. Yes, I agree with you. I don't know why I stress myself out trading Nasdaq. I hate it. I absolutely hate Nasdaq. Sorry, guys, for those that love it, but I hate it. So that's another hourly point of interest. Okay, so now on to the 5 minutes. The This is what we got going on with Dow in the 5 minutes. So as it was breaking down, right into, as soon as I drew this hourly zone, that's where it pulled into, and now it's coming right back up. So still holding good support. We'll watch this going into Wall Street as well with Nasdaq. Nasdaq's probably doing the similar move. So we'll add 9 EMA, green line, 200 EMA. We'll add our daily bar. Okay. And then all three of these are side by side. We got US 30 on the right, Nasdaq here in the middle, and gold breaking down. And it's 9:12. Okay, so I'm just gonna go to take a break real quick, grab a drink, and go to the washroom. I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. I'm still in the sell on Nasdaq right here, looking for some bearish volume to close below here and get that drop coming down. Okay, so and my stop loss is placed here at 501 above this red zone. That's the only trade I'm in currently. I will come right back, guys. Maybe I'll leave and I'll go drop some Lambo lots on Nasdaq and maybe push the market down myself. I'm just joking, but I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I got myself a Monster Energy drink. Nasdaq needs some bearish energy. Okay, guys, unfortunately gold broke down. It closed below that zone. So unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to make that green, red. Okay, so they took out that low. Okay, so liquidity, right? Did they take it out? Will they come back and close above here? Similar to this move where it took out the liquidity and then we had that leg come back up. Will gold build again and have that leg, or is it going to start to push down? So we'll see, guys. Ingomar, how are you? There's a court rule for my Forex funds, MFF. I don't know if you read it already. I posted the article in Discord. I read about it, yeah. And Ingomar, my last kind of week with MFF, I had a $20,000 day on a live account and a payout for $20,000. And that's when everything hit the shitter with them. So I don't know if they're going to honor that and pay me my 20K. Hopefully they do. But yep, that happened. There's a video of it on YouTube. I was trading DAX. It was with a $200,000 account. I was scalping 5 lots, $50 a pip. It took 46 of 46 scalps, all average of like about 9 pips. They owed me $20,000, and then the next couple of days is when everything went down from them. So I'll keep you guys posted if I get that payout. We'll divide it all with all of us and we'll have a party with it. Borex, they owe you a lot of money plus 3 accounts. So yeah, I had combined Borex $300,000 accounts with them. But we'll see what happens. Oh man, like look at that. That was a nice bearish candle coming all the way down right to that red line, and buyers stepped in. Oh man. Sean Mile, look at the folders. Which folders? On Forex Factory right here? Nothing really concerning us. Just 10 a.m. over here, Richmond Manufacturing. FOMC meeting minutes, guys. It's not the FOMC meeting session with Powell or federal funds rate. This is just a summary. That's later this afternoon. Okay, so look at gold again. It broke, okay? Maybe they grabbed some liquidity again, and now it's coming right back up. So get ready, guys. I know it's like just going up and down, like a roller coaster, but we'll see if it continues to make its move. And if you're getting stopped out, if you're having a difficult week, like Monday, Tuesday, and today, just know that you're not the only one. There's a lot of traders, including myself, that's having a lot of difficulty reading the markets. So all we can do is just adjust your risk accordingly. Don't leverage too much. If you take a loss, make sure you can accept it. Give yourself some outs. Like, don't just trade with one big trade all day, and if you get stopped out, you've done 1 or 2% damage to your account or more. Divide that, maybe 1% into 5 trades now, 0.2% each trade. If they go into drawdown or if you get stopped out, you're still giving yourself some outs that you can continue to look for good setups. And you're not the only one having a tough week. I'm having a tough week in the markets myself. It's hard to get a read. Like, look at gold for the last 2-3 hours in here. It's very difficult to read where this thing wants to go. And it's a large range too. So a lot of stops are getting stopped out here. But what we got to focus on is more, we're going to go into Wall Street now in the next 9 minutes. So that's going to be our focus, okay? Gold, I understand a lot of you guys are still trying to trade it, but we'll see. So right now, again, this red zone is green. You can see how we broke it, but the volume didn't close below, came back, closed above. So now it's retesting it here. Again, Nasdaq doesn't look the prettiest, but I can see it came up, back down, volume closed in here. So it's still in this bear flag. Will we get that push down prior to Nasdaq or prior to Wall Street market open? And I've got my stop above that daily point of interest right above here. If we start moving down into this green box, I will be reducing my risk and taking my stop at least to this red box, and then maybe eventually to a break even, and then also scaling out a little bit if it comes down here, because then I'll start to recover my earlier losses, right? And then I can go back to a break even and refocus for Wall Street or later trading this afternoon. But if this thing can break down, maybe I can recover my losses and get a little bit of profit out of it, okay? But we got to break here first, okay? We don't have any closing volume below here yet. Is this going to be the candle that breaks? Okay, and you can see US 30 is also breaking down as well. So let's see, guys. Let's see if we can get that closure, because you guys have seen, just like gold, it could just break and come right back up. We want to get that closing volume below here. Yeah, yesterday after we ended the call, around 10:30, US 30 and Nasdaq started trading really nice. It was just like today, really choppy. Watch, after Wall Street might be good volume to trade. But sometimes when you do excessive trading prior to Wall Street, you over leverage, then you're done trading for the day, and then you're going to miss out on good volume. So that's another thing, guys, to understand when it's time, when the market is moving, to go in on your. I teach it like a game of chess. Right now, you can use like you're moving your pawn in a game of chess. You're not going to move your king. You're going to move your pawns first. Test out the market. Test out your opponent, and then when you start to see how the market is moving, clues, then you can start to go in. Okay, so this is a good candle. Good bear flag, but can we get that closure? Okay, so here's the close, 25 seconds to go. It would be really beneficial if we can get that bearish volume closing below that red line, because then if it comes up, maybe it retests that, gets rejected, then we continue our next leg down, pushing down. Okay. It's coming right down to a nice psychological number too, 21,450 on the dot. Okay, so this is going to be a deciding factor. And we're 5 minutes going into Wall Street. Okay, there's a nice bearish push down. Okay, opened ignited, broke the wick, dropping. This is prior to Wall Street, right? And when Wall Street opens, things can completely change. Okay, so right there is about 25 pips. Bearish ignited candle opened. Okay, but it opened ignited and just dropped. As it came down, picking up buyers again, this candle may flip and then actually start a retest. First place it wants to retest is the red line. That was support, now turn to resistance. If we do get a retest, we're still holding our bearish head. Can it continue to push down? Okay, and as soon as this candle now flips, turns into a hammer, we lose our bearish ignited start of the candle, and then it wants to come up and retest. Red line, and then 50% of that bearish candle right there. So far, we're still holding our bearish head. Gold is building as well. Okay, so gold is building above the green zone, building again, coming back up. So I wouldn't be surprised if gold continues bullish, but we need that closure above here as well for confirmations. Okay, so there. That's where we kind of lost our bearish ignited head. That's, see the blue body on the candle? See, now it turned into a hammer. So now it's got a wick. We lost our bearish ignited open. So now if it comes to retest, first line of retest is the red line. The red line was support there, support there, support there. This bar that closed below is now making this red line momentary resistance. Okay, so if we retest this and they push it back down, we're still good to go in the sell. If it comes up a little higher and tests 50% of that body, that's what we're looking to retest. So far we haven't came. So now the sellers are absorbing those buyers, pushing it down. We have less than 3 minutes to go until market opens Wall Street here, okay? And then be prepared for volatility on all of these securities, on gold, Nasdaq, and US 30, because it's Wall Street now. Things can completely change, right? It could just open bullish and just come straight up here. But I'm looking for the move. Okay, so that's 25 pips again, coming down to the lowest point of the candle. Down there is about, I'm looking for it to sell off down into this green box down in here. At that yellow line would be about 40 pips down there. Okay, there's a good push. 2 more minutes to go. Off we break here. This could be a nice drop, because look how much clearance we have below here. Just look at it. See, guys? That's the only thing holding Nasdaq right there. That body, and that wick. If we can break below here, we've got a free fall coming down into here. So it's going to be really critical what they do at Wall Street Open. Watch, guys. Okay, 90 seconds to go. One minute. The 1 minute countdown till Wall Street. Okay, so they're bringing it back up. Okay, so now again, it's retesting that red line. 30 seconds to go. And then Wall Street. So also 50% of the candle right there. But with Wall Street's volume, you can forget about like kind of retesting 50%, because there's going to be so much added volume into the market, okay? But if it does respect these, then that gives a bonus. But gold is also breaking down. So if gold closes below here, don't be surprised if we get another leg pushing down. Here we go, guys. Wall Street market open. So very bullish open on US 30, bullish open on Nasdaq here. No, I haven't moved my stop loss, Samuel. I haven't. Yeah, it was in 25 pips in profit. I didn't take anything out, so I didn't adjust my stop loss either. So I'm just playing out Wall Street market open. Gonna play it out, see what happens here. Okay, you can see the range of the 5-minute candle opening range. That was the first 1 minute of Wall Street market open. Okay, so we got good rejections in here, but still building that volume in here. If we can push down, back down here, we might get that bearish leg pushing down. Okay, that's the kind of rejection I want. That's the push I want, but I also want to see bear volume closing below here. But this is going to be the fight between the buyers and the sellers at market open. Okay, but we're still below here. And that zone right there is still holding. Remember what I like to see. If we break this red line down in here, that's where the big drop could be. That's why I'm holding this move. I want that bigger move down there. Will the market protect that move from happening? We'll see. See, that's a big spin top indecision candle. Gold coming back up. Watch closure in the first 5 minutes. Holy man. What a market. My goodness. Wow. Okay, so that's the first 2.5 minutes of Wall Street so far. We have another exciting 2.5 minutes to go. Craziness. So the volume is still in this kind of flag, that range. If it closes above here, then we could get that next push coming back up. If the sellers can close it back down here, that's where we could get that push down. But looks like buyers are in control going into the close so far with 90 seconds to go. Again, maybe it's going to come back and haunt me that I never adjusted my stop loss or took some profit, but I was playing this trade out for market open. Again, gotta let the candle close. Next 60 seconds. And that's the high of the day, that purple line for US 30 up there. 42,415. Yeah, so keep it on US 30 if it takes out that high of the day. Okay, so closed strong, bullish, Nasdaq in that zone right there. So yeah, my stop loss is up there, guys. You guys might see a keyboard getting smashed very soon. At least I'll make this call entertaining when I smash my keyboard for you guys. Okay, so US 30 tapped into the high of the day. God, this is disgusting to watch. Holy shit. All of these securities are just trash. Look at gold. My goodness. Look at like, whew, the only clean one is US 30 so far. I think the new mic is giving me bad luck. I think I got to go back to my old school headset. I was using that thing for 6 years. We had a good run. I put this new mic and it's just cursed me. I got to get rid of this shit. I don't need these fancy things. Feels different not having the headset on. Yeah, last week was fantastic. The week before that, Armandi, was really good too. This has been a shitty week to start. Yeah, so guys, I think I might be getting stopped out up here. Okay, so you see how that white line lines up with 50% right there? So any pullbacks, if you're looking to buy US 30, right there, you got a little bit above, a little bit below, but right there. Anywhere around here, you could look for pullback buys continuing for the rest of the day. If it does pull back, that would be a good opportunity to buy if you're looking. About 90 more seconds to go. Holy, the market is just a complete shit show this morning. Crown, you're sitting on a gold trade for the last 40 minutes. Well, there's other traders that have been sitting on a gold trade for the past 3-4 hours here. Man, it sucks. But it's the volume of the market. There's nothing that you and I can do. All we can do is just control our risk and how many times we trade or how we get frustrated. That's the main thing. So if you guys see me smash a keyboard, you can see that Ron's not keeping his cool here. Okay, so stop loss right there, guys. I'll verbally tell you guys when I get stopped out. Yep. There it is. I got stopped out, guys. Fuck. That's it. That's my three strike rule, guys, for this session. That's it. Closes above here. This is a bullish day. Buy pullbacks on Nasdaq or US 30, and you got Nvidia's earnings later. Gold is a mess. Holy shit. Yeah, guys, I might even take a day off tomorrow. Like, just not feeling this week. I'll let you guys know if I trade tomorrow. I think I need a break from this shit. Next time when we come back, I'm gonna do gold, and then I'm gonna switch Nasdaq with US 30, and we'll do Nasdaq for Wall Street market open. So we've always been doing gold and Nasdaq and leaving US 30 for, but we'll just switch these two up. Yeah, so it did close above here, so that's now support. Tough day, absolutely. Very, very tough day. I admit, very tough day. Again, in this trade, I was up 25 pips. I was looking for that break to come down into here. Up 25 pips, I never reduced my stop loss. So will that come back and haunt me? You know, but I didn't intend for that time. My plan was a longer trade. So I was holding it for the bigger move. Unfortunately, Wall Street market opened and negated that move from happening. So it is what it is, guys. That's trading. I take losses, I take wins, I take break-evens. That's the day. But tomorrow, if I'm not feeling it, guys, I'm going to take a day off. I'll let you guys know. And for those 1 minute price education sessions, I think 1 minute is way too fast for everybody. So we'll go 2 to 3 minutes on those. 1 minute is way too fast. Thinking it's, I don't think anyone is learning how fast it is. So we'll slow it to 2 minutes. We'll try 3 minutes. And also with today's webinar, we'll do it for next week, because they come with homework assignments. We've been doing it every single week. And some of you guys messaged us and said, can we do it like every other week? Because there's those homework assignments and things like that. So we can do them every other week. They're pre-recorded and we just upload them to the website. But if you guys want every 2 weeks, because there is a homework assignment with it too, but man. So now this is sometimes where they get you. See how it closed above, it's retesting, you know, like you looking for buys, and then that's when they start bringing it back down a little deeper down into here. So that's my 3 trades, guys. I'm done for today. Maybe I'll look for something this afternoon if there's anything like yesterday, if the market opens up. But other than that, just remember there's Nvidia's earnings today in the after hours. FOMC minutes, the summary is at 2 p.m. And gold is breaking down, guys. The longer I stay, the longer I'll trade. So guys, I'm just gonna pack it up for now, because if I stay, I'll look for another trade, and I don't want to do that until like 10:30, 11 a.m. See what's happening. Okay, guys, I appreciate you guys. Just hit the notifications on YouTube if we come in tomorrow morning. Also, guys, on Zoom, I'll let you guys know if I'm going to trade tomorrow morning. Kind of maybe need a little bit of a mental break from the start of this week, just to recover and recoup, because I'm not reading these markets correctly this week. So I need time to do my homework as well and get back to my plan, because I'm deviating from my plan a lot this week. I don't know why, but it's not with you guys. It's to do with the market. So I'll figure it out and I'll be back, guys. Okay, so we appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. The outcome wasn't that great. I apologize for that, but we'll see you guys again, okay? Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.
Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Network Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please. Secure
Recording
it.
stop.